Down East to Alexa.
Yeah.
When Billy had first proposed the song on what it was, and how you came up with the groove. The groove in Down East to Alexa is such a great, powerful groove that absolutely fits the song and the message.
Right. The song Down East to Alexa, I don't know if you know, it's on Stormfront. It's a song about fishermen, fishermen on Long Island and how they're getting robbed of not being able to use nets anymore. And they make a living doing it. And now that living is being taken away from them. Anyway, Billy comes in and he goes, I wrote a song about a boat. Oh, great. So I started to play this tropical. He goes, no, wrong kind of water. This water is up north, in the northeast of America, close more into Canada, and it's dark water, and it's cold, and it's a fishing boat.
So you started with this Caribbean kind of a...
I started with the Caribbean.
Calypso kind of a clear water.
He said about a boat, and I immediately,
He wants the Atlantic, he wants the...
He wants the Atlantic, because for me, when I see vacation, the V has palm trees on it. There's nothing cold about a vacation for me, So he's telling me about this fishing boat, and it's in the waves, and it's being sprayed, and the water's cold, and so I thought, as a kid, I grew up on Long Island, and I remembered the boats going out early in the morning, and they all had diesel engines, and the diesel engines would go. So the snare drum became that. Right? But the waves became the toms. So it was like. And it became that fishing boat. But then I was able to put fills in also around that whole thing to make it into a song.
As that music was coming out over those waves.
And the thing was, boom, that whole boat going up and coming down again. Became that whole crashing. Hold it. There's things back here?
Right under that lectern, right there.
I got one to second. Okay, listen. Fishing boat, engine. Whoops. Engine. Right. Waves. Boat goes up, comes down again on the wave. Right? But it needs to be in time. Did you kill it? Like that kind of fishing boat. How to come up with that. So now you know how to do a fishing boat, right? Everybody knows how to do a train, right? Do a train on your legs. Now you know how to do a fishing boat. Do a horse. Got horses out there. Now you know how to do a fishing boat too.
Now, if you can imagine the creative process, I'm witnessing this in the studio, and I'm seeing this all kind of happen and begin, and we're going from this calypso kind of an idea to the depth of what we have going on. The creative process that came up with this incredible, powerful song, and of course, the message of the song, which was about these fishermen, these dedicated men who had deep passion for what they did.
Yes.
And the support of the song, that was incredible.
Yeah, it was a fun song to do. I like creating drum parts for songs. That's what I think I do best. I feel like this man here is an amazing motivator, an amazing drummer, a teacher. But when I get chills, when he solos, because he's so musical when he solos. That's what you do. That's just is tremendous.
What would you say, thank you so much, what would you say, as we kind of wind down to a certain degree, what, the high point, the highlight that you can pull out of your life in your travels with Bill, what was the highest, or some of the higher points?
Well, I would say, like, the Soviet Union was definitely one of the highlights, because...
And when you were there, don't forget, the wall came down
The wall was still up when we were there.
What was up when you went there?
Yes. The wall was still up when we went there. We were the first band to do a full production. In other words, if you saw us at the Super Bowl when I played with Elton John and Billy Joel at the Super Bowl, the Superdome, all the equipment that we use in a place like that, or an arena, that's what we brought to the Soviet Union with us. Before that, Elton John played just on the piano, and who else? James Taylor just played the guitar. We brought everything. These people could not believe that we were there playing for them. They had nothing. You know, you hear about the lines at the Soviet Union. People would be in line to get something, they wouldn't even know what they were getting. I saw those lines. I saw it. So when they were in the front row and they had nothing, they were just doing this. Just this. Like, all they had was their heart that they could give us. They just loved that they were there. And the music, how it translated from us being Americans, speaking English, to people who were in the Soviet Union, communists, locked behind the wall, and they're feeling freedom from us through the music.
And just a historic footnote, it wasn't much long after you left that the wall came down.
The wall came down, they all came rushing over to buy Billy Joel records.
You know, other artists that you met, legends that you've met, the best of the best that you have had the chance to rub shoulders with and play with in gym.
Well,
who would be at the top of the list?
I played, well, I gotta say, when I met Ringo Starr, you know, and I said to him, I said, you know, Ringo, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And he looked at me and he said, well, at least you're not blaming me for it. I got to play with Paul McCartney, which was very exciting. It was huge. It was so huge that I remember the session, Phil Ramone had called us in, and Phil was producing the session, and I had to go in early because Phil wanted everything set up and perfect. You know, and on the way in, I'm thinking, what does Paul McCartney want with me? He doesn't know who I am, you know? So, anyway, we're standing around, and all of a sudden, the door swings open in the control room, and first Linda walks in. He was married to Linda McCartney at the time, right? And Linda walks in, and she looks around, and she points right at me and goes, I know who you are. We've been watching videos of you. Really? Me? And then he walks in, Paul walks in. You know, very nice, like, and I walk up to him and say, hi, I'm Liberty. I shake his hand, and he shakes my hand. And then I walk past him, I walk out the door, I walk in the hallway, and I go, okay, settle down. We're gonna blow this. He's just another human being. No, he's not. He was in the Beatles. Wait a minute, he is the Beatles. I had to compose myself before I walked back in the room. I was like so excited.
Absolutely.
So excited to meet him. You know?
I just can't imagine being any deeper or heavier than that. And you play exactly what I think you played for that song, and you allow us as an audience to suck us in and bring us into the song to share that emotion with you, which is powerful from your position. Of all the times when I saw you at Yankee Stadium performing, and I went back to the very, very end row, and I went on stage, and where I went around that, you know, theater, which is really what it became, a theater for the evening, everybody was glued to watching you because you were setting the pace of the emotion of every song. It was powerful.
Right. One of the great things that ever happened was one of our guitar players was getting on the plane, and Dave Weckl was right behind him. You know, Dave Weckl was great. And so our guitar player turns around and goes, hey, you're Dave Weckl. Yes, I am. And he says, what's it like to be able to play anything you want to play? And Dave Weckl looks at the guitar player and goes, what's it like playing in an arena? You know?
That's right. So, talk about, if you would, as we close down, Little Kids Rock. Explain what it is, explain your involvement in that, and your philanthropic, purpose of where that's all going.
Little Kids Rock is an organization that I'm in. It's a not-for-profit organization that puts instruments and gives free lessons to kids in underprivileged schools. You know that the music programs are being pulled out of all the schools all the time. This raises money to put the programs back in the schools by giving free lessons to kids. If the kid takes lessons for a year, he gets to keep the guitar, or there's a drum set or whatever they're given, they get to keep it. And I've seen the guy who started it, Dave Wish, was a teacher, and he saw these kids hanging out in the hallway. He started with 20 students. He now has 185,000 students that are part of Little Kids Rock. He just started 4 new schools in Guatemala. Me and my wife Anna went down and went to one of the schools and saw the kids, and talk about poor, you know, they have nothing. But when they put that instrument on, or they play the guitar, they love it. And his philosophy is to teach them what they know. Show them one chord and tell them, you can play 25 songs with this one chord. Show them the next chord in that progression, and you can play 50 songs with these 2 chords. Show them the final, you know, the 1-4-5 movement in the progression, and you can play 150 songs. Because to keep them interested, they will eventually want to go back and learn the classicals and the jazz and the other stuff, but teach them what they know. That's their whole
So
philosophy.
you've been involved with them for the past 10 years,
Yeah.
and I had the chance of being invited to the benefit that they had, and it was just to see the overwhelming joy of all the musicians on stage performing, you playing on drums, and it was just so powerful to see the potential of where this is going and where the next 10 years are going to take Little Kids Rock into what they're doing, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they did we do fundraisers every year, and the first, it's called the Big Man Award that these people get. The first one you got was Clarence Clemens, and Lady Gaga has gotten it, and last year we did it, and Steve Van Zandt got it, and we played with a bunch of people. Bruce actually came up and played with us. It was great. And this year we did it, and Darlene Love from the Crystals, a group of Crystals, you know, they do Run Run, and He's a Rebel, and those songs. She got it. And we played this year with Elvis Costello, which was great. We played with, what's his name, from the Righteous Brothers, Bill Medley, who was the low voice in the Righteous Brothers, and Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. And it's exciting to do it every year. And they have the kids come on stage, tell them.
The kids performed, it was magical to see the young kids perform. So to see the generation now moving forward, from all of your efforts and experience and how you guys have inspired them, this was pure magic.
Yeah, and so, like that, like the Sessions does, you know, for more privileged people, you know, to try to advance music and to pass on to the next generation, like you said at the end of the Sessions.
Which is really what
the same thing.
It's what it's
Little
about.
Bit Rock, same thing.
Being a part of the sessions and having this opportunity to hear this great panel, and of course to have the time with Lib DeVitto to share some of his insights into his life and of course into his music. This is so powerful. Thank you so much. What would you leave everybody with? Give a 1-minute round of what you leave them with in the thoughts of surmising your life and what the potential is for the future of artists.
2 things. It's not what you play, but how you play it that's important. Because I don't know how to do a lot of things that other guys don't do, but what I do, with the passion that I do it in, I know because I can see people, they're impressed by it. You know, so it's not what you play, but how you play it. Also, be nice to the people on the way up, because you're going to see the same people on the way down. It's easier to be nice than it is to be mean. So, you know, and do things. Pass it on. Pass it on. What you know, pass it on. Because people are dying to learn.
Very powerful.
And look up Slim Kings on Facebook. That's my new band, Slim Kings.